If you've been exploring agentic AI, you've probably noticed something a little bit uncomfortable. Everyone's talking about agents, but hardly anyone is talking about architecture. And without the right architecture, your multi-agent system won't scale. It won't stay reliable, and it definitely won't cope with enterprise complexity once the real work begins. Now, most teams, they learn this the hard way. They start with impressive demos, clever workflows and agents that look great in isolation. But behind the scenes, the foundations are not built to carry the weight of what the business expects next. And when the system hits 5 agents, then 10, then 20, everything that felt simple suddenly becomes very fragile. Workflows slow down, errors multiply, and nobody is quite sure which agent is responsible for what. And trust in the entire initiative starts to erode. It's not because the technology isn't good enough. It's because the architecture was never designed around the organization's real challenges. So instead of speed, you get bottlenecks. Instead of reliability, you get single points of failure. Instead of clarity, you get confusion that grows with every new capability that's added. That's why the starting point isn't the agent. It's the question, what's our main challenge? Because your primary challenge determines your architecture. And when the architecture fits the challenge, everything else becomes simpler, cleaner, and far more scalable. If speed and simplicity matter most, a centralized architecture is your friend. One orchestrator, clear direction, fast iteration, and a single place where logic is controlled. It's really ideal for early prototypes, small teams, or service environments where rapid delivery cycles matter more than anything else. But sometimes your system has to operate without fail. And in those cases, decentralized architecture becomes the safer option. Agents coordinate directly, resilience increases, and you remove the dependency that could bring the whole system down. Then there are moments when you're scaling, 10 agents, 30 agents, or multiple teams working across different domains. Now you need structure. A layered or hierarchical structure blends autonomy with oversight, reducing chaos and keeping accountability clear as complexity grows. This is where large organizations usually find their rhythm. And at the highest level of complexity, you end up with a hybrid architecture. Part centralized where you need control, part decentralized where you need resilience, and part layered where you need clarity. It adapts to different domains and scales with the organization. And this progression is not random. You typically start centralized for speed and clarity. You move into more structured or hierarchical models as the system grows. You add decentralized zones to increase resilience, and you eventually land on a hybrid approach once enterprise complexity shows you there's no single perfect pattern. Throughout all of this, governance is your anchor. Security, compliance, coordination, clear accountability. These elements turn a promising AI system into something operational leaders can rely on, not just admire. If you get the architecture right, everything you build on top becomes easier, safer, and far more credible across the enterprise. Now, if you want to know more about agentic AI and how real organizations are putting it into practice, check out the links in the description below.